Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my business little shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, I've got a belt that I'm working on. I already have the two straps for this line belt cut to length, and I need to glue them up, and I'm going to create a double axe head pattern. Now, you've seen me make one of those before. Don't leave. There's a couple of things I'm going to do at the end of the belt process, and I'm not going to stretch this out. We'll get there pretty quickly. That'll really make this pattern pop. It's a technique I've tested a couple of times. I've not done it, I can't think of ever you doing it on a larger scale, like a whole belt. So I'll show you what I'm talking about there. The other thing that's really exciting about this belt is the person's getting it has zero idea that it's coming. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, share that, and how you can help influence who it is that gets this belt. So let me get over here on the workbench. We'll get started on it. Like I said, we'll cover a couple topics, and then I will pretty much fast forward to the technique that I'm talking about. I do appreciate you taking time to be within the shop today. So as I'm working along here, I have a couple things that I wanted to talk about. One of them is your continued support. I really do appreciate the time it takes to watch the videos. I like what I've been seeing lately of people helping to answer other people's questions in the comments. I think that's a really constructive way to do that. At times, I feel that one of the things I don't like about the channel is I don't want people to think that my answer is the only way that a project needs to be done. There's a lot of people out there that have more experience than me, but they're not producing videos. And so many of them are viewers of my channel. So when you share your experience with other people, I'm not offended by that, whether you're sharing it with other people that are making comments, or if you're sharing it with me through the comment section. So I don't have an issue with that. And I've done, I guess, 3 live streams this year, and I like the live stream format. I do feel a little bit bad at times to do those because if you're going to participate at least while the live stream is going on, I'm telling you when you need to watch it. I guess it's kind of one way of looking at it is that I'm taking a chunk of your time, whereas I put out a regular video, then you are able to watch that whenever you want. And obviously, you can decide not to watch the live stream, but then pick it up later and watch that. So, and then the other thing that I like about the live stream is it's a time to answer some questions. As people are making questions or having questions in the comment section, I will make notes of some of those questions, and then that can be a basis for a live stream. But the questions that come up during the live stream really, I think, make the whole process interesting. So give me your thoughts on that. Right now I'm producing or releasing a project video on a Saturday. Each Saturday, that's my goal, is a project video on Saturday, and then on Wednesday is what I would refer to as like a topic video. And it may be a small project, but I like that format for my end, but I'm curious how you like it on your end. And then, do you find the short videos interesting? It doesn't take a ton of time to produce the short videos, but if my main subscriber base isn't as interested in the shorts, then I may modify how often I produce those. Now, there is one area that I could really use some help. So when I produce the videos, a lot of those videos are for orders that I have. So whenever I have a new purse or a backpack or something like that, that's an opportunity for a video. There are lots of projects that I make that I'm producing inventory for my artisan shows. And so if there's a project out there that you would have interest in seeing me build, no saddles please, or boots, John, then let me know what that is, because that helps me. I get ideas on things that might sell well that I haven't produced, and it helps me keep the content fresh as well. And my goal has been to limit the belt videos to no more than one every other Saturday and have other projects on the other. And I don't know, maybe that's apparent in your watching what I've been doing there, or maybe this is news to you. So I'm gonna let this flash dry here a little bit. I'll laminate these together, and I'll come back when I'm in the process of making the pattern. I have some people make comments about how I align my double axe head and keep that aligned. And based off a conversation with Dean, I went ahead and put a pencil mark here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a pencil mark there on some Scotch tape. This side here, I just line up these two outside wings on these 2 points here so that that pattern continues. So I start over here, I set this side down here, and then I line up on my center scribe mark here, that pencil mark, and then I make sure I'm lined up good here still. And that's how I line it up when I'm going this direction. Hopefully you like that. Circular saw guys running here next door doing some kind of work. So I got started on this belt today, and you've been following along here. I started off at the beginning saying I was going to do the double axe head pattern, and that was going to be, my intention was to be that 3 rows across here, and it's in the belt pattern that I call the Woodsman. Well, I finished the first row and got thinking about the belt. I just released a couple weeks ago a video of a belt that I made for a viewer, St. John, that he won in one of the drawings that I had. And I really liked the way that belt looked. So I decided to change my approach and go with that pattern that I made for St. John. And it's coming along nicely. Let me get you in here a little bit closer look of the belt, and you'll see where I'm at on it. So I'm working along here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about how I made it. There is a video I released on February the 15th that is all the information on making this pattern here. But when I got started, I'm thinking, you know, I think this will really be a nice format to show off that technique. But while I'm finishing this up here, I've hinted to it, but the person that's receiving this belt does not know that they're receiving this belt. I'm going to put this in the mail, and they'll be surprised when they get it. Now, I said earlier that you can help to affect who is going to get the belt. So you're like, how can I affect who's going to get the belt if I'm going to put it in the mail and I know who it's going to? Well, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. On the title line of this video, you'll see it says Rick's Outdoors. And Rick's Outdoors is a YouTube channel that has been real supportive of me over the time of having my channel. We've had channels almost the same length of time. And I'm going to send this belt to him. And if you would click on the link at the top, go to his channel, he's going to tell you how to get a belt just like this made for yourself. He's going to have a drawing on his channel from comments on the video of him unboxing this, and you will get an opportunity to win this belt. Now, if you're not in love with this pattern, I'll make you one of my regular line belts, but and obviously make it in your size. So at the end of the video, please click on Rick's Outdoors link. Go there and say hi. He's going to have you put a comment in his comment section, and he's going to enter you in a drawing. And then whoever wins that drawing, I'm going to make the belt and ship it to you if you're the winner. Let me get this to the next stage. I'm going to dip dye this in black. You don't need to see that. So I'm going to come back when I'm ready to do the technique on here that I've been alluding to for most of the video here. We'll be back here in just a little bit. I appreciate you following along today. Okay, since you've last seen this belt, I finished the tooling. I went ahead and dip dyed it in the Pro Dye Black. I applied TanKote to these two large areas on the ends, and I ran it down the sides here, not in the middle. The one thing about this double axe head pattern, the pattern has grooves in it, but it's pretty easy to wipe the TanKote out of it, especially if you've got resist in there. And I'm on black here, so if I have a little bit of a residue that I don't get wiped out of there, I think it's going to be okay. But that's the reason why I'm doing it that way. The double axe head pattern is the only one that I don't apply that TanKote on, and that's only on black. So anyway, it's just from my experience of what works decent and what doesn't work. So I'm going to take enough of the neutral antique finish here to do this design. Make a little bit of a well there. And I'm going to add the Pro Dye to this to darken it up. I'm just going to use a coffee stir here to get some of the dye out of there. That's the blue. And equal parts is still a little bit too blue, so I put twice as much green as I do blue. Let me stir that or create a little bit better of a well here. It's like gravy on your mashed potatoes, right? Got to make a well for it. Okay. And now I'm just going to stir these together. And I asked the manufacturer about mixing Pro Dye with it, and they said that that would work. I've also seen where people have mixed paint with it. I've toyed with the idea of getting some of the leather paints and mixing that with it and see. It does make the finish dry slower. And if you smear it kind of thin, you get an idea of the color. That looks pretty good. It could maybe be a little bit less blue, but I'm going to go with it and see what it looks like here. There are times that I use a toothbrush to apply the antique finish, especially in some of the deep areas, but this pattern here I've tried before with the dauber and it gets in here just fine. Looks like I probably created a little bit more than I wanted to. I don't know if it would store well if you had if you mixed it up in a container and kept it, you know, sealed away from air. It might do well. Let me get this smeared on here and we'll come right back. All right, I'm going to let this sit for, probably about 5 minutes. Let it set up just a little bit here. You have to kind of go with what works in your area. Drier environments are different. Let me clean this up here, and then we'll be back here in a minute when we're ready to wipe that free. All right, so I started to wipe this off of here. I use denim because it doesn't get down in there like, say, terry cloth would. And I want to try to limit how much I drag out of these low areas here. So one pass across there to remove a bunch of that residue. Okay, I'm going to work this just a little bit more. If you leave too much, it does run the risk of flaking out. I don't want to do that. Actually, I was able to wipe on that quite a bit. So let's look at it here. I think it looks pretty good. Let me know if you've got other ways of coming up with custom colors here. I'm sure you could use some of the different paint finishes mixed with it, but I'm curious as to your experiences there as well. I'm going to hang this up, let this dry, and we'll come back in a little bit. I allowed the antiquing to dry, and it dried really nice. I went ahead and I buffed the surface to remove any residue there, and it removed a few areas to further highlight that double axe head pattern. I like how that turned out. I went ahead and did the edges, and I put a coat of Resling on the complete belt, and I am just in the final stretch here of hand stitching this belt. So when I get this hand stitched, I'll come back and we can put the buckle on there. And I need to decide, I haven't decided. I was thinking about putting the floral antique buckle. It's actually like an antique black buckle from Montana Leather on there, but I might just use a stainless steel buckle. I haven't really decided on that, but I'll come back here. I'll have the keeper made and we'll be ready to mount the buckle here and take a closer look at this belt. I decided on this antique nickel buckle. This is from Montana Leather, and I think it's just a really nice looking buckle. I think it'll go well on here. I'm just about out of my clear fingernail polish here. I've got another bottle around here. I just got to find it. I put my maker's mark on there. I have laid out the pattern here for my adjustment holes. Well, there you go, another finished belt. I think it turned out really well today. I really do like this tooling pattern here. I'm glad that St. John selected that out of my samples that I made earlier. I think the challenge is going to be trying to figure out which direction to go. And maybe the thing to do is I'll just create a belt of each of these different styles of tooling patterns that I came up with very early this year and let people choose themselves. But today's topic was really more about creating your own antique finish. Using the neutral paste, you can have a pretty wide range of available colors using the wide range of pro dye colors. I mean, there's yellow and red and green and blue. You know, obviously there's the brown tones and black, but you can create your own color there. And I really do wonder about just using some acrylic hobby paints to mix in with it to create it. Test it on it and see how that works. I may have to try some of that myself, but I think it turned out really well. The two-layer belt, I just love the look and feel of the two-layer belt, and I think it turned out fabulous. Obviously, by this morning, the person that I made this belt for knows it's there because I shipped it, and if you'll go to their channel, and it's Rick's Outdoors, and just go to it in the header, click on that, it'll take you over there. He released a video this very morning that, so it should be easy to find, that's going to be a full reveal of the belt. So you can see all of it there. He'll give you a good close-up look of the belt, and he's going to tell you how to enter the drawing off his channel, and you can have your very own belt. I'll make it the exact same way if that's what you want. If this style isn't for you, then I'll make one of my other styles. Got the gunslinger, the belt I call the Western, the woodsman. The belts is kind of growing in that area, so there's lots of options there, and I'll make it your size and get it shipped to you. I appreciate you taking time to be within the shop today. Please like, share, and subscribe, but more importantly, I do hope you have a great day.